how do you paint war? Well, you have to choose a moment. Let's use one of history's most renowned skirmishes as example, the Battle of Waterloo. This fight took place between Napoleon's French army and the Seventh Coalition, a multinational conglomerate in Northwest Europe in 1815. It was a pivotal battle, one that would result in a French loss and the end of Napoleon's rule as emperor. So how do you depict such a crucial day in history? If you're William Sadler, you use a panoramic shot of the entire battlefield and drown it in a sea of uniformed soldiers. If you're Jan Pieneman, you highlight the Duke of Wellington as he conducts his final orders to destroy Napoleon's army. You glorify the Duke here, you shine the spotlight directly on him and paint him not in armor, but in robes. He is the hero. If you're Robert Alexander Hillingford, you do something similar. Lupiano Cecca shifts the tone a little bit. His depiction is much more violent and hints at the horrors of war. Joseph Mallard William Turner will make them explicit. His Waterloo shows the gloomy aftermath of war. It's not a glorification of battle, but the epitaph to it. And if you're Karl Kopinski, you show this. Karl was born in Nottingham, in the United Kingdom, and has been working in the illustration industry since the late 90s. As a kid, Kopinski loved drawing people. He says he was always fascinated by the faces around him and made a habit of turning his friends and family into drawings. This incessant desire to make portraits would end up forcing him out of art college, as the professors there insisted on abstract work, much to Kopinski's dismay. So he did what any passionate and rebellious artist would do: he taught himself how to paint. His big breakthrough into the business came when he was hired by Games Workshop as a designer for Warhammer. The dark, gothic, gory, and historically inspired mood of the Space Marines world fit Kopinski's style seamlessly. A decade later, Wizards of the Coast hired Karl for his first commission, Skeletonize. As you can imagine, people, and more broadly, portraits, are central to his work. Nearly every piece in his magic portfolio centers around a protagonist. Even when those subjects aren't human, we are still looking at a portrait. The majority of Karl's work shows one character, and only adds people or beasts if they contribute to the narrative. In the case of multiple characters in one frame, the supporting cast will elevate the central figure. Again, Kopinski is a portraitist in the most traditional sense, and many of his magic cards reflect this discipline. So what else goes into a Kopinski piece? Well, let's look at his colors. His work is full of deep, rich, earthy tones and incorporates a strong use of very dark, nearly black shadows. Look at the bottom half of Indulgent Tormentor and the underbelly of Consuming Aberration. These creatures are covered in shadows. Gatekeeper of Malakir employs the same technique. Made from dark paint, his subjects are often grotesque, humanoid creatures like goblins, or adaptations of 19th century soldiers. Most of them wear plate armor or leather gear. Karl loves giving weapons to his warriors, and equally likes giving his citizens earthy, tactile materials. Kopinski turns the environment into a tool to be exploited. The flames surrounding the Viking in reckless spite are morphing into mercenaries to do the warrior's bidding. A few sets later, the same motif will be mimicked in Master of Waves, but this time with water in place of fire. By the way, that painting, to the groaning dismay of collectors everywhere, is a digital render. Apart from the water textures, it's hard to tell. It's because Karl's style is seamless between oils and digital media. Look at the Innistrad box of Liliana here. We see the portrait of one character, front and center, dressed in glossy leather boots and emerging from the shadows. Her victim is moments away from suffocation behind her, and this piece, it's digital. Dragonlord Atarka was also a digital piece, and appeared in Spectrum 22, which was one heck of a year for magic art. Krenko Mob Boss was a piece done first in oils on primed paper, then scanned into the digital realm for highlights. This is a normal workflow for paintings that rely on heavy contrast to read well at card size. But maybe the most striking Kopinski piece of the past few years is Mardu Heartpiercer. This piece could easily be found alongside Massonnier or de Neuville in the war room of the downtown art museum. We see a Mardu archer poised for a kill shot galloping across the plains of Tarkir. His blue-gray armor glistens in the sun and complements the red accents of his sash and cape. The bow is fully drawn. The arrow is parallel to the horizon behind him. The three-quarter portrait of the horse helps add depth to the painting, and the reins falling from his mouth add movement. So does the hair atop the helm, which matches in color and texture with the horse's tail. This piece is excellent because it pulls in 3 different directions at once, creating a tension in the viewer that adds to the otherwise mellow scene. The horse is running forward, escaping the frame. The archer's torso is 90 degrees to his legs, and all of his power is suspended in the bowstring, which wants to run perpendicular to the horse. The entire composition is aided by the rotated horizon, which itself contrasts the traditional orientation. Not only that, but this piece places us in Tarkir without overdoing it entirely. In Mike Linnemann's words, Karl is able to give soldiers and individuals their own places in a group or army. In this image, he stripped away all of the other aspects and just painted, traditionally mind you, a perfect Tarkir image. This is a Mongolian, magic style. It's hard to tell where the Ottoman Turk ends and the collectible card game begins. Remember what I said about painting war? You have to choose a moment. When you look at Karl Kopinski's work, you slowly realize that he is the master of finding the pivotal moment in the action and painting it on the canvas. He won't show you the beginning of the battle or its gruesome aftermath. Rather, he gives you the exact second when things take a turn. The heart piercer hasn't let go of the arrow, but he's just about to. Poor old Otto is probably still alive in the belly of that snake. The fire is still burning and the serpent is fully on guard. Siege Dragon speaks for itself, as does Stormtide Leviathan, and you can practically hear the flesh ripping off the stakes as the relentless scabs tear from the wall behind them. And so many more paintings done by Kopinski give you that golden moment, that award-winning snapshot of a scene that doesn't let you turn away. Despite his rather barbaric compositions, Karl is a peaceful gentleman that resides in Nottingham with his family. He is a passionate cyclist and has an ongoing portrait project depicting professionals of the sports that has been displayed in exhibitions in London. He keeps his sketchbook full. That fire for drawing people has yet to fade. And every Christmas, he paints his children into snowy scenes with Santa for the annual Kopinski holiday card. By the way, remember Slave of Bolas? His wife modeled for that painting. And the poor bloke inches from the blade in Ultimate Price is none other than Kopinski himself. And this piece, well, Peter Jackson owns art from Kopinski's Waterloo series. We're lucky to have someone with this level of skill making art for our game. If you look closely, you'll find the characteristic shadows, the armor, the weapons, and the portraits that make Karl's work his own. And more than that, you'll find a composition full of many, many moments. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, check in to subscribe, and if you want to see other videos like it, I've put out quite a few on my channel, so follow the links to the Magic Art series for other artists, and support my Patreon page. Just by donating $1, you'll have access to secret high-tech behind-the-scenes commentary videos that I'm doing now for every video I do to get some tips and tricks on how to edit. And I'm also sending out, of course, signed cards. This month is Enter the Infinite in celebration of my Therese Nielsen video, which I did for the previous installment of my Magic Art series. So get signed cards, get free insider detail videos, and just help support the arts, help support what I do so I can keep on going. Last time I set a goal of 50 patrons, and we got a lot of help, so I would like to set another goal. Let's see if I can hit 71 patrons by the time I release my next video. Yeah, that's a good goal. It's like 5 patrons. Not bad. Alright, thanks for watching, of course, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Cheers.